Hello and welcome to Streamtabulous. Today the photo we're going to be working on is this one over here. I picked it because I just want to take a look at the clothing. It looks like it's something that'll be nice and fun to work with. Maybe we can get some bit of vibrancy happening to it. And yeah, don't forget to join the Facebook group. I'd love to see more portrait photos posted. I haven't seen a lot of portrait photos getting posted in the last couple of weeks, and they're my favorite to work on, of course. And yeah, I'd also like to see some upper body uh, portrait photos posted as well, to do some Christmas in July photos. So, you know, the classic Bol and Santa Claus and whatnot, and you guys can get those up. I'll work on a few of them, and you can get those printed and ready for Christmas as Christmas presents. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and get the bell on. Need to see those likes come up. I'm not getting very many of them, unfortunately, and I'd like to see these videos get out there to teach more people how to do this sort of art quickly, easily, and of course, right on their mobile phone. So yeah, we'll go to the intro and then we'll get on with the show. Welcome back. Now, first thing we want to do is swipe this off. Say hello to my native Australian drop bear friend here. And we'll get into Mint AI. We're just going to apply a quick color over top of this. And of course, that will make it quicker and easy to work on from there. It just makes the job a bit faster. Now it's going to open up in my gallery, so I'm going to hide that for a moment. Okay, we have a picture up there. We'll just hit OK, and we'll see what this can do for the colors. So we probably using IBS PaintX today to apply some colors, and of course FaceApp, Facetune, and go through and work on this photo bit by bit. Probably use Remy today as well. So there's our base color there, so we can save that. We'll see download successful. A nice simple base color to work on. I think we will open this up in Remy quickly, and we'll just run it through and apply. We'll see what it can do for the image in cleaning up those faces a little bit before we go playing with applying the colors. Mine is going to come up with the subscription there. I'm only using the free part of it, so all you have to do is press that little cross in the top corner, and you don't have to worry about running the more fancy version of it. So we'll go no to that, and we're going to go open up the image. I'm going to find that image in my gallery, saved in the pictures, up here. Should be able to bring that up. Go to enhance, play an add if it wasn't in flight mode. Let that run. We'll see what this can do. It should do an alright job just cleaning up the faces and that, just give that more of a HD look to it. There we go there. So much better on those faces. You can see the before and after. It's removed a lot of the old grain from the image. Okay. So we'll work with that. So we'll just hit the save button up the top there. Watch add. Give it a moment to finish. Save. Now we can swipe this off, and we'll just remove that mask there and take a look at what we want to open it up in next. Of course, you can go through the iOS and the Android store, and you can download these apps for yourself and try them. The main ones I use are Airbrush. I do use FaceApp, Facetune, Mint AI, and IBS PaintX, and Pixay. And then I use Remy and Photo AI the most. So they're my go-to apps, the ones that you're seeing on the screen here. You can play with different apps depending on what you feel is better for you to use. You don't have to use these particular ones. I want to open it up in IBS PaintX, and we're going to take a look at just applying some layers, and we'll have a play with that clothing. So we're just going to blur that, go into the gallery, You can see ones that I've worked on before in the past. So what we want here is that little plus in the bottom corner, and that will bring us up to our import, which will bring you to this screen, and then you import, leave everything as is, then find your photo in your gallery. It's in a folder called pictures. It's going to recommend a size. I'm going to go original. You might want to go recommended, depends how much RAM you've got in your phone and how fast it is. This is a 2016 phone. It's just an old LG V30 that I'm actually using. And from here, we're going to just do a couple of layers. Do a first layer. We're going to go color to begin with, and we're just going to take a look here. And I'm thinking we'll play with something like a yellow down there, maybe. Let's see what this does. We'll just work on an area, make it larger. And yeah, this will take a little bit of time to paint in. So what we'll do is we're just going to skip forward to the done portion of at least this bit. We'll work on to the next bit and so forth. Okay, with the quick fast forward here, we're up to this. Now we can just lighten that layer off until we find an area which is a nice blend. So I'm going to go to about there, have a nice light sort of color. The compression to get it up here on the screen isn't the best, and the colors don't look as good as they do on the phone. Depending on what you're viewing it on, it may vary. So yeah, from here we want to open up another layer, and we're just going to go layer upon layer upon layer, and I'm going to color the next section in, and I'll go color again, brush. Might try a blue. Might try something like a sky blue there. Up, and we'll end up bringing that down to bring that in. We may have to play with that and just see what actually looks better over top of the actual image. Linear light's not bad. If we bring that down, that should give us our baby blue tone that we want. So I'll go linear light on this one. And of course, we'll just color in, and we'll skip forward, and we'll see this block done. Okay, so we're jumping forward. Now I've got my layer on. I have changed the layer property on this one to overlay, and I've duplicated it. So I've got that, which I thought was nice because we can see a lot of that detail still in it. But then I wanted to lighten it up. So I duplicated the layer, and I've just gone to vivid light, and I've just adjusted that down to give it a lighter tone to it. And we'll play up with these more using the Facetune editor, and we can fiddle around with the colors and the details of the clothing in there. Now we'll just take a quick look here at the top in the background. So for the mother, I'll just move that up and grab little hamburgers, as they call them. We'll change it to color, and I'm thinking a dark blue on this one. We'll take a look at that. Come down. We'll color that in, and of course we'll adjust that afterwards and bring it into a tone that we're happy with. So I'm thinking something like that, and that will just bring it together, and then we'll play some more. So just bring that up and make it easier for me to see, and then we'll fast forward and we'll see that block color done. Okay, now we've got our color on here, so just come through and use that smudge tool for any area which is just over a little bit, and you can just sort of drag that down a little bit and just push it back into the image and fill out those little nicks and corners that are needed for that fine tuning. So you can take as long as you want to do an image. The more time, the better the result you'll normally get. I mean, you can go through and you can erase every one of the white dots on this top if you wanted to. Come in and just, that's a bit too much. You could come in and erase the white dots like that, just to make them stand out that little bit more. So you can spend as much time as you want with the image to perfect it, to get it to where you like. I do this for a little bit of fun. So I generally just do it quick and easy rather than spend that amount of time. And it also shows you guys how quick that you can actually do something for a photo as well. So we're going to come in, we're just going to look at the background here and sort of, we could change the color of it and perhaps remove the tinge to it and make it like a whiteboard or something like that, or add a hint of cream to it. So it's just a matter of playing with it and finding out what's going to actually look better. So we'll go through and we'll play with that, and I'll show you the block form once it's done. Okay, so I've gone through and I've just chosen a white, and I've done it as a saturation, which is basically black and white sort of toning that background, which gives us the white boards on it, which I think is sort of more traditional the way those weatherboard homes were. I've left the bottom there through those sort of green tones, which gives it that sort of shadow effect that perhaps there is some grass down there and perhaps a bit of a sidewalk, and it's just getting some cast over. We will add the vintage shadow to it later, which will bring it together. So this is where we're at here. We can go through and add a layer, and we can just go start with color, and we're going to pick this color here from this kid's arm, and we'll come over and you can actually help reduce the shadows by actually bringing it together. Might not be the best color to pick. We'll change that to... Okay, so we're going to use linear light on this layer. So we have our layer there. We have linear layer. I've brought it down to only 26%. We've chosen the color from her arm. And then we're just going to help reduce the shadowing and just bring that color so everything sort of comes together. And we'll do it with the mum's hand as well. And this will just add that effect of more sunlight on the image. So come through. Details this way, bring it together. It should blend as it comes up. These areas here, what we'll do is we'll do a smudge. We'll just push it in so it brings it together like that. Bring it down. And that just helps bring that lighting together. Okay. Just like that. And we're just going to keep going on the arm here. Bring that in to help remove that shadow, and that will make the image just stand out that little bit more. It's a quick, easy way to remove shadows on the face as well, and then just blend it together afterwards. Smudge tool, just kick it into the corner, down so it's off the clothing. Just like that. Okay. So that's linear light. That's off. And that's on. And it just brings that color together. We can do that on the face if we need to as well. There's a fair bit of light up there. We might not need it, but if you wanted to, you could come through and just run it over her face and do that as well. Of course, you'd have to blend it in, try to quick and messily show this. And then you pull it in, and you just do it on those areas which you want to brighten up. Okay. That helps remove the shadow. Go over the eyebrows. We have a light layer, so it's not going. You're not going to destroy anything doing this. Just bring it in. Sort of dot it in if you need to. So it's a bit broken up. Use the smudge to sort of blend it, and you'll get a little bit of a broken sort of patchwork tone. Just like that. Okay. That's how you can help remove the shadow on the face. Okay. And from there you can go to that base layer. And you can come through, and any area that looks a bit off, we just bring it down with that opacity, the translucency, and we just sort of kick it and blend it. Just like that. Follow those lines. This is a great one to actually show those lines, so you just want to follow those lines. Come down, we'll clean that out. We can see with the way the face apps work too, well, like Remy, that it does that blur filter over top of it. And it only concentrates on the face. It misses the rest of the body. So this is not the way the scripts are. They're not a real AI. Real AI would use a server, and its compute unit would be absolutely massive to do a task to go through and re-render an image. Where these are done with scripts that just run over. I've talked about that before. They're not... AI just seems to be used as a nice marketing tool to get people to go, oh, AI, that's going to be fantastic for restoring a photo. I've got to have that. And that's why you see a lot of complaints, oh, this didn't really work that well. It's because of, well, it's not real AI. It's not intelligent. It's just going through trying to work the best it can out based on the shadows of your image of what's what, and then apply filters and sharpen it up and clean it up. Do that. Okay, there's our image there, and then we can go through and we can use something like airbrush and redo some of those shadows on the face, but it'll be a different type of shadowing where, because it's now bright, it will just re-highlight and bring out some of those contours on the face, like if a female was to use contouring to bring out jawlines and that using makeup. So this is our new base image for our colors to work from, where our apps will now work better. And you can see that if we come up again to that linear light skin tone, you can see the shadows there. And then we can turn our linear on, and we can see the way it softens up all those shadows and helps that image pop more. So we will go back to my gallery, and then we'll export this as JPEG, and then we'll go into, I'll go into Airbrush, and then we'll go into Facetune. So I'll give this a moment. Save that. Wipe that off. Now we'll come into Airbrush. Okay, now we have that image open. We can just go through the makeup tool. We'll select the mother's face to work with first. We'll come through and we'll just add some red to that lips to bring that color out, because we still have a lot of that black and white base layer there, and we don't want that. So bring that up. Nice red. I always apply, and then I go through, and then I do my makeup layer again, and do layer upon layer that way. That way, if there is a mistake, I can go back and do a quick erase. So we'll do contour. We'll do the nose, which adds some of that lost shadowing from the softening effect. We'll apply that contour. We'll come back in, face. You can see we've got some white on the cheeks now for a new sort of lighting. We're going to go deep. And it's just going to bring some more shadow on the side and highlight that cheek line that a little bit more. So we'll apply that. We'll come in again. We're going to select an eyebrow that matches the existing eyebrow just to make those pop that little bit more. So we have a type of wispy eyebrow. We'll bring that up. We can do the eyelashes here. So we'll do wispy. Might not work with the way... Yeah, okay, we're not going to get the eyelashes on this one because the downward look, it's used to just putting in a file over top of it. It's basically got like a PNG that it's putting over top of it, so a translucent image of just lashes. So it's not going to work with this one, so we'll skip that. And that is quite fine. We're lucky enough that it's a really good quality picture, so we've got a lot of that on there anyway for the eyelashes. If we come back in, we can see that. We'll come down to the child now, and we'll do the contours on the child because it will help clean up the face. We'll do young, fitting. May come through and we'll just clean up some of the face and IBS Paint-X again, probably later. Now we want to go over the child's eyes. Do we want to put a contact over top of it? Maybe a light contact would be sufficient. Didn't get the color of the eyes for the child, so I'm going to go do it very light, just so we can add the pupils to it. Okay, so we'll apply that. Might also take a look at, since these are normal eyes, we can come through the eyelashes. We'll do that wispy, and then we'll bring it down so it's they're very light eyelashes with that opacity translucency to it. We'll apply that. Now this is great, so we'll use that. We now have our face. And we'll go into Facetune 2 now. So we'll open up Facetune. Image. Okay, we have our image here. And from here we can, we'll do the rest of it. So the hair, we'll take a look at the clothing and whatnot. We'll see what we can make pop here. So first off, I do like doing the hair. So we'll come through. We'll do that glow to it, which adds those highlights to the hair as you would expect with the way sun comes on it. And it really brings out that tone to the hair and adds that more HD image look to it. Now, you got the little blue lines there that indicate that we're on that person, so we'll come up to this one, the mother's face, and we'll do the same thing on her. We'll start with the brown tone. We'll, I like that where it is. We'll apply that and we'll darken it up. So we'll do it again. And this time we're going to choose a darker color or perhaps a black and apply that over top. And then we'll go blend and we'll bring it almost right back. We'll bring that glow up. And this is just going to darken the hair. Okay. Now we have a darker tone there. Now we'll come through on the close tool, which we have colored. And we'll take a look what we can do here. Now, if we go there, we can see what it's highlighting, okay? So we're just going to leave it as its mess highlight that we've got. And we're going to take a look at these details. So we'll bring that up. We can drag our saturation back if we need to. And we can drag our white to the black back, okay? It sort of helps just bring the clothing in a bit. So finding out what sort of looks the best with the image, whether we want that or if we want to stick with the non one. Sometimes it can be a little fake looking, where you can actually see that it's colored when we leave the pure coloring of an image. So where we've just gone over and created a layer, because that layer does remove a lot of that details. So by doing this in Facetune, we can add those details back and pull the color back and find a balance with the image. Oh, it's a hard one, this one. It's like, where do I want to go with the image? Do I want it bright and vibrant? Or do I want that dark sort of tone to it, but one looks more natural? Yeah, I gotta say, the non-edited version has a more natural tone to it. So I guess we'll leave that, which brings us to, there's not much to do here except for add that vintage shadow to it. So we'll save that. We'll swipe that off. I'll go into Pixay. I will get the image from the Facetune folder, because that's the last program that I run. We'll go maximum. Oh, okay, we have our image open here. We'll go to effects. I'm just going to come down to here, and I'm just going to add a vintage shadow to the image. Just sort of bring it together a bit. It does add new shadows, which is good that we brightened up those arms as well, and that sort of just brings it together. We can just go through to effect here, and we can do a solid white border, which adds to the image. It doesn't actually erase the over top, which is great. And we can just do a nice soft white border. If the person doesn't like that, they can always crop it off when they're printing it. And we will save that. And that's where we are. So we're done with this image. So that's basically a quick way to recolor a photo and, you know, help enhance it to get those facial details there. You can come through and spend more time with it to where you need. And yeah, so don't forget to join the Facebook group, of course. One's rotating there. So don't forget to join that Facebook group. Get me some more portrait photos up there. And of course, coming into July, I want to work on some of those Christmas and July photos. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and get the bell on to see more on how to do this. And I will see you in the next Streamtabulous video.